Hey guys, it's Malekith, part 17 of my Let's Play series for Crusader Kings 2. So let's have a quick review. So down in the southeast here, you've got your large Muslim nations. They seem to be forming up into quite large regions now, as opposed to lots of little scattered ones. There seems to be quite a bit of fighting going on in here. Seems to be mostly amongst themselves though, as opposed to against the Byzantines. However, as you can see, the Byzantine Empire it's pushed up a bit over here, quite considerably up here into the pagan territories. But it's also starting to, apply quite a lot of pressure down here. It's pushing south quite strongly when you compare how many opponents it's got facing it. Right, Russian plains, Novgorod seems to be taking up quite a big chunk of land. I did a check, and you can't play as Novgorod, not because they're pagan, but because they're classed as a republic. So Rostov is the region you'd have to play as. You normally start in this sort of area if you wanted to play as Russia. They have an interesting start in that they have a lot of territory, and it's all owned by a duke at the start, which is who you're playing as. Obviously you're not a king, and you're way over your land limit, so you have to hand out quite a large chunk of it very early on. But all the major kingdoms to your west are your allies through blood relations. They're all your brothers and sisters. So it's quite an interesting place to start, because at least initially you've got a large alliance on your left, which allows you to press into the large pagan regions around you. It's quite a good place for lots of fighting, if that's what you're interested in. So Sweden managed to push down to the edge of this water body here, but as you can see, Finland, which was a single province last time we looked, wedged in the middle, seems to have punched out quite significantly. It's sliced them in half. We've got another dukedom. This is an odd Swedish pronunciation there, with an A with a sort of weird symbol above it. Very Stargate-esque, so I'm not even going to try and pronounce there. And a couple of other sort of dukedoms have popped up. Interestingly enough, Norway's lost a lot of its territory up here as well. Orkney's reappeared with a vengeance and taken a chunk, and we've got this new region popped up here. So Norway now owns Iceland, the tip of its own style area, and a scattering of counties in England and Scotland. If they don't pull something back, you may see them wiped out fairly quickly. Scotland seems to be just about holding its own. It's got the Orkneys up the top, but that starts off owned by the Norwegians, so they haven't lost much there. We've still got a province as the Irish on the corner. Other than that, they're pretty much as they start. England's still got a splattering of Norwegians around, but they've managed to push quite heavily into Wales. Orkney's managed to capture the eastern province here. Not quite sure how they've managed that. Ireland, as you can see, is entirely in our grip, with one province in Scotland and one in Wales. France still hasn't captured Brittany. It seems to be holding on as its own province, its own sort of area quite happily. It's been pushing and doing a lot of fighting down here in Spain, but there's some rather large Muslim factions down here, and although they've got one big army stomping around, it doesn't seem to be able to fight off everything thrown at it and deal with rather large amounts of rebels like this. A 2,200 army of rebels. It's not to be trifled with. Holy Roman Empire. They seem to be losing a bit of territory to independence wars in Italy, but I'm sure they'll grab that back. They're pushing quite heavily into France. They've managed to surround Savoy and push in a bit more, but they still haven't captured Savoy back yet. They're starting to get up towards the English Channel though. So then the area of interest is Spain. So you've got Portugal still, well, they've replaced Galicia in this northwest tip and actually lost their own starter territories. Leon seems to have reappeared and replaced what was Castile. So these were Castile's lands before, and they've now become Leon. Whether it's as a direct result of me declaring myself as king of sort of this region, or queen, but yeah, it's like I've taken the kingdom of Castile, which might be why these guys have reverted to Leon as their sort of an alternate title. Someone was complaining I wasn't pronouncing this province in the Spanish way, or not complaining, stating. The reason I'm not is I have no idea how to pronounce it in the Spanish way, so if someone wants to enlighten me in the comments, I will do that from now on. So if we focus on Ireland for a second, as you can see, the Queen's aging, she's 62. The husband got captured in a war, he's being held down here. So it's likely that we'll see her dying soon, and she's being replaced by Prince Patrick, who unfortunately has two brothers which I think will try and fight him for stuff. But I have tried to ensure that he's in the best position possible by... He's got a bit of land up here in Ireland, as well as the stuff he'll inherit when his mother dies, and also he's got a reasonable amount of provinces down here. I think I gave him these bottom two, and he'll inherit the top two off the Queen. So even though these two are owned by his brother, he should have sufficient sort of power down here to at least ensure loyal supporters when the transition comes. Because as you saw last time when we swapped leaders, rebellion was one of the big issues. So if we go to diplomatic relations, so he'll inherit Desmond and these three provinces here. He's owner of Kildare. I think all the others are owned by various other people. So he's got a few family members in the northern provinces and just general vassals in the bottom. I think we finally got this kind of control, yep. So we'll just have to see how the opinion pans out when it transitions over. We may have a vassal inheritance warning, so we may lose one of the provinces in here if that doesn't resolve itself, so you may have to go to war to claim that back. We've got some ducal claims we can press down here, but it's attacking a Christian kingdom, which I don't really want to go doing at the moment. So anyway, let's sort of get going. I'm not going to be too aggressive because she's so close to dying, I suspect. I'd rather try and shore up defences and stuff first. So let's increase the speed. And just keep an eye on how things progress. Somebody's just died. Was that Patrick? Yes. Prince Patrick, who I was just talking about, has died, aged 42. So let's see who's the heir now. Oh, what a fuzzy beard he's got. Okay, so he's inherited these two, which is probably a good thing. His brother's got those. Who got Kildare? Yep, he inherited that as well. Actually, it's the grandson. So Patrick's son seems to be the new heir, which is interesting. It doesn't go to the alternative sons if he dies, it goes directly to his descendants and skips a line of succession entirely. So let's replace the council position, which is the marshal. Score of 21, can't really argue with that one. In you go. Have him train some troops. Well, if the grandson can survive, that does mean we have a much younger ruler. Let's see, how old is he? He's only 22, which should give us a lot longer to play about with once he does take over. Have I got any ambitions I can pick? Nope, just seeing someone dead. So that's just the marshal telling us that he's doing well. Seems the Orkney army's rather large, 2,500 troops. It's marching around over here. Trying to take on the Norwegians by the look of it. So, Crusade's been called. Not entirely sure where Negev is. Somebody said there's a region search down here somewhere. Ah, there we go. So that was me clicking the find title button down here in the bottom right, which someone kindly pointed out in comments to me a while ago. And Negev is a tiny little province all the way over here, so I'm going nowhere near it. I have far more interesting things to worry about. So some pause and carry on. So that's the Queen's husband dying in jail in some prison down here. I think it was this guy. So this Sultan's just left him to rot in jail. And now I have too much land, I guess, because I'm unmarried. So the easy way to remedy this is to give it to the guy that's going to inherit. Who's his heir out of interest? His brother, okay. In fact, he's quite a few. Anyway, so which titles did we own? We owned Desmond, didn't we? I might give him Desmond. Oops, wrong place. There we go. Court chaplain. So he was down here trying to convert some of these, which I think he succeeded in. Yeah, they're all Catholic, so he can research some stuff for the moment. I'm not going to bother finding her a consort, it's just someone else to cause hassle when she dies shortly. You can see I don't fancy her chances for surviving much longer, can't you? Oh wait, here we go. So who is this? So this is this province here, which gives me a good opportunity to investigate something that kept coming up in comments. If we look at holy orders, you can see there is a price of 157.5 piety to hire, and in this case there's no monthly cost, but with these guys there is, which is interesting. So these guys have a 1.54 and these guys don't, so it's probably something worth looking at when you're looking to pick one. Maybe it's because I'm at war with the Muslim nation or something, the price disappears, I'm not sure. So we will hire those guys on. Now I need to find sufficient boats to carry them all. I think that should be enough. Boat. And march the troops onto shore. They seem to take a long time to get moving once they first arrive off the boat. They also seem to be increasing in size, which is not a bad thing. Is this army going to escape me? No, it's not. It's been caught. That will get destroyed. Knights slaughter stuff. As you saw in the last video, even outnumbered, they absolutely decimated the opposing army. So we should catch him now. Oh, come on, knights, you're so slow. There we go, we've got him in there. He's not trying to run. Destroyed. Unfortunately, these regions don't have much in the way of troops at the moment because they're still recovering from being captured so recently. Oh, that's a massive stack of enemy. From the composition, 3,700 of them though are light infantry. Whereas mine are all heavy infantry or heavy cavalry. As they're not actually my troops, I may actually just throw them in there against them. See what I can do. It'll be a nice experiment at the very least. So here we go, large fight. Well, they're definitely taking a large chunk out of them, but I think we're going to end up losing. Maybe not, it's going to be close. No, we've been defeated. But we lost 900, well, we lost 6,000 and they lost about 6,000. Oh, hang on, what's this? Apparently the population are arming themselves and are likely to revolt because he's been trying to get taxes out of them. Okay, so time to raise an army. That raised some down here as well. Yes, it did. I didn't really want to do that. Never mind. I think I'll raise some vassal troops as well. They can just deal with it. So these guys can creep up and board the boat. And somehow it's deselected the boat. There we go. So head on down. I'm going to need more troops, aren't I? Yes. So the other Holy Order is not available because he's being used by Portugal and it doesn't seem to be done much for them. They're losing horribly. I could hire some mercenaries. But we'll see how it goes with the remains of the Holy Army thrown in with my guys. I'll take the long route with him. You guys can march this way. To be every little helps, I think. So we'll see how these guys do now. You wait. Let's put someone who can actually fight in charge. Oh, he'll do. I'm sort of hoping these knights will make a big impact, but it doesn't look like it's going that way so far. I suspect it's going to be calling the mercenaries. Yep. It most certainly is. How big's that army? 4,000. I'm going to make sure of it. Right. A lot more archers this time. There we go. Finally got one. So we've managed to capture that way, and that one. Burgundy are busy sieging this province for me. Just chase him into Lyon. See if we can catch him before he gets back out again. Oh, he's changed direction, this should be it. There we go. So that's his army destroyed. Okay, dismiss the boats. And I'm going to split out the mercenaries. And basically send my own troops home. Okay, what's this? Apparently there's a traitor. My Chancellor's apparently a traitor. He's the Duke of... they're both dukes. I'll tell him I think the evidence nonsense. If somebody else shows up with some evidence, then I might believe him. So if we now split these armies out, I'll leave one to siege here. Oops. So my spy master has died. Change it so the large army marches down this way. Actually, first replace the spy master. How was the Battle for Madrid a defeat? Well, I'm confused. I'm not even sure where I was fighting. Intriguing. Okay, so this is the large army, so we'll send him that way and him that way, which is what I wanted to do before. And no, these guys are now moving that way. These multiple armies all shielding each other's movements are getting irritating. Okay, so hopefully the reinforcements will arrive to kill this guy off. As you can see, there's another big fight going on over here between Burgundy. And there's the reinforcements. Apparently we can now imprison somebody, so I need to go look into that. Who can I imprison? I can imprison my son for something. Prince Joffrey's been up to something. He wants to kill the heir to the... he's trying to kill the other guy's heir. Interesting. Well, I'm just going to ignore that. They can do what they like. It's amusing. I'm going to dismiss these troops now. We'll just stand here and continue sieging these guys. Now somebody's trying to kill my granddaughter. Okay, let's have a look into this one. And my granddaughter's trying to kill my grandson. It's one of her brothers. Okay. I'll just tell her to stop it. There we go. What's the other plots in there? The Count of Leinster wants to kill the heir to the Duke. Well, that one's getting interesting. We'll keep an eye on that. And the court chaplain wants to kill the count. Oh, there's a full little backstab circle going on here. Okay, somebody wants the spoils from shipwrecks that capsize out of my capital. If I give it to the bishop, his opinion goes up 25. If I give it to the commoners, the marshals goes up, but he's already at 100. And if I give it to myself, I get 5 gold. Well, I don't really need 5 gold. I'm already at 100 with the commoners, so I'll put it with the... oh, so it's not the marshal. He is my marshal, but in this case, it would be the mayor that gets it. So I'll give it to the church. Just because they're the ones I need the opinion with. Oh, that was a large army that's just appeared out of seemingly nowhere and jumped on my army. Are there any holy orders for hire? Yes, but he doesn't have many troops. Well, my mercenaries aren't going to live much longer. So we have 9,000 enemy troops parading around. You seem to have captured a rather large area down here. I'm going to merge these 2 mercenary units together now. There's not much left of them. In there and try and kick that army. There we go. Every little's going to help in this case. Oh. Okay, the Burgundy army's fighting them now. And a lot of theirs is light infantry. I'm half tempted to jump in and try and help just because it's going to make the biggest impact as opposed to trying to fight him individually. So I think I'll send him in. Yeah. It didn't help in the long run, but... was that a victory? I don't know. I clicked it off too fast to notice. Never mind. Try and catch this smaller army. But they're going to be too fast because they're just raiding around, being irritating. Truces are expiring. Which truce is this then? The truce with the guys that are busy declaring war on me. Yes, that's nice for you. Go away. Okay, so we've got another holy order that's been created by the Pope. So this one's the Teutonic Order. Ah, here we go. What's happened here? Joffrey is no longer steward. He's died age 39. He was killed by a mob of angry peasants when trying to collect extra taxes you had ordered. Oh well. I lose 15 prestige out of the 3,230 she's managed to gain over her lifetime. So let's have a quick review of her family. Both of her husbands are dead. I think the first one she killed herself. The second one died in a prison in a faraway land. Patrick randomly died with no sort of explainable reason at age 42. The second son is still alive, quite happily. Joffrey there just got killed by an angry mob of peasants. The daughter here, I'm not sure how she died, but she died at age 26, which is pretty young. Maybe she contracted a disease or something. And then the last daughter is still very much alive. But she is now 68, and the heir is 28, so we could see a succession extremely soon, but we're in the middle of a massive war down here. But that's the end of this session, guys, so I'm going to call it there and continue in the next one.